This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
GameWorn Radio is on the air.
Hey! Shelton scores! Hopping the Cordova, baby! We're going bowling. Now, let's go hunt moose on a Harley. The fires, he scores! LA face with an Oakland booty. Make me a bicycle club. They score! Bowmeister paid that man his money.
GameWorn Radio.
Hey everybody, it's Derek with GameWorn Radio, part of GameWorn.us. I'm here with Marco, Dan, Tom, Jason. We're going to wrap up the year, talk about things that happened throughout the year, and I'd like to wrap up our discussion on that Gretzky jersey. Remember that one, guys?
Yeah, pretty crazy.
So
It's a beaut, 100% legit.
near the end of the last show, right? We were talking about the that Gretzky jersey that was up at auction, and well, about halfway through the closing, I had somebody message me and said, "I've got some information for you on that jersey. What's your email?" So I got him my email address, and he shot me some messages, and what he sent to me was pictures taken from his iPhone 7 of 4x6 photos of that exact jersey. 4x6 photos, right? So
Not of Gretzky wearing that jersey, though.
no, just of it laid out like in his
Oh, okay.
in his house, you know. He says, "I used to own that jersey," and so I'm looking at the photos, and like he took pictures of everything, you know, the tagging and everything, and I was like, all right, I can tell for sure that it is for 100% the exact same jersey, because if you take a look at the 99 patch, like all the highs and the lows and the valleys and the stitching and everything, they're exact. And I mean, that's all I needed to see to know it was the exact same jersey. So I'm like, so what do you know about the jersey? And he's like, well, I owned it and I sold it in the late 90s. And I'm like, well, that's interesting, because auction people are saying that they got it from some former teammate of Gretzky's family.
Duh.
And they got it 25 years ago. And like through the entire story, right, they're sticking to their guns, because that's definitely what happened, and they had auctioned it off previously, and now they're auctioning it off again, and they were the ones to get it from this other family, right? And I'm like, okay, that's
Did this guy
interesting.
think it was good, by the way? Despite that, did he think it was good?
The original owner?
Yeah.
The guy that messaged me? No, he knew it was just an authentic. He said the story I got from him, and I talked to him for quite some time. I talked to a number of people, because all I wanted to do was collect as much information as I could and present it, and everybody could come to their own conclusions. So when I was talking to him, what he was telling me is he was a really big Gretzky fan, and so he couldn't get the real jerseys, because as far as he knew, Gretzky kept all of his jerseys and there weren't any on the market. So he started a collection of authentic or replica jerseys, and he wanted to get them as close to like what Gretzky would wear on the ice, right? So with all the patching, all the stitching, all the different stuff. Well, he said he was at a Kings game one year, and I can't remember what year he said he was there, but in the store they had jerseys that were done up to be exactly like the ones that he wears on the ice, and they were pretty expensive for, you know, how much replicas were going for or authentics were going for at the time. And so he splurged and bought it, and that's what it was. That's what he was talking about. And before he sold off his whole collection, he had taken pictures of his entire collection on printed 4x6s, and he has albums of them. So he was showing me all the different Gretzky jerseys he had in his authentic collection before he sold it. I mean, you know, the more information, the better. I had contacted some of the authenticators to see what was going on and see what they knew. And Casey was pretty cool about his. He was just like, I didn't have all the information at the time. It looked good to me. And, I mean, that's really all he needed to say. I mean, the jersey from the other guy's story is it was done up to be exactly like the jersey was supposed to be. So if you go through and you look for everything on there, yeah, it's going to look good because it was made to look good. You know what I mean? So Casey was just like, hey, this is new information that I didn't have at the time, and that's that. You got to respect that. And then one of the other authenticators, I talked to him a couple times about what was going on just to get as much information as possible. And he had never heard of a team selling authentic or replica jerseys in the store in that era, which I can't. I fucking wasn't buying jerseys then, so I don't know. But he positions that. The only thing that you can't really take away is how did this guy get photos of the jersey if he never had it in his possession? And if he did have it in his possession, I highly doubt he would have let it go if it was a game-worn jersey. I'm pretty sure he would know. The reason why I'm pretty sure he would know is because he also sent me a series of pictures of 4x6s of him in Walter Gretzky's house, hanging out with Walter Gretzky, Wayne's father, and all the jerseys that Walter has in his house and all his trophies. And I mean, fuck, he even had the jersey that they sent Wayne from the Red Wings when they were trying to get him, or they were trying to like feel him out to get him to play for the Red Wings, right? So he's got a picture of this. He's got a picture of, him and his kids with Walter. And like, it was pretty cool to see just the pictures themselves and like the actual jerseys, like Sioux Greyhounds Gretzky jersey. Like that was pretty badass. But there's a lot of cool shit, and it's like, it's hard to not believe that when you come with so much firepower, right? So I'm pretty sure he would know if a jersey that he had in his possession at one point in time was an actual gamer or not.
Did anyone contact Gray Flannel?
Casey reached out to Gray Flannel, and Gray Flannel pretty much said,
Fuck you.
Sorry, Pete's trying to call in right now. Gray Flannel is pretty much like, we bought it 25 years ago from this family, and that's the story on it. That's pretty much all they said. They're like, fuck anything that you have to say. Oh, you have evidence? Fuck your evidence.
Oh my god.
So that was
Yeah,
that. I'd emailed them wanting high-res pictures of the jersey and whatnot, and they completely ignored my shit. They didn't even respond to my emails.
Gray Flannel peddles a lot of like weak shit. I think everyone knows that though. Like the stuff on there. It's like it's when the sellers can't sell it on Classic or GameWorn.us. It filters down to these lesser sites, and people think they're getting a great deal. Oh, no one knows about Gray Flannel. Everyone knows about Gray Flannel, but they don't know what they're dealing with, right? So you get shit.
Well, the funniest part is how on there what we were making fun of originally, what the original story was about, was how Gray Flannel lists in there that it's been authenticated through photo-match.com, right? And then if you go to look at the masthead of photomatch.com, it's the same exact address as Gray Flannel. So they're authenticating their own shit.
Yeah.
And they graded it a 9 out of 10.
That's what I don't
9
get.
out of 10.
What are you going to grade?
Right?
Yeah. 9 out of 10 more.
The thing ended up selling for like $14,000 and 16.7 after Hammer. So somebody's having a fucking bad day.
Well, that person, whoever, here's the thing: ignorance is bliss, right? Whoever bid on that jersey is not someone that listens to this radio show or goes on Facebook or any of the forums or anything like that. Like, right?
Yeah, I mean, they think they have something good because they don't know any better, right? And if they want to sell it again, just fucking sell it through Gray Flannel. How was your Christmas, boys? Did you get anything good?
Who is that?
Pete?
Is that me? Am I troublemaking? Again?
No.
Somebody's rubbing their mic.
It's probably Tom. Tom's bushy ass beard is probably rubbing up on that shit.
No, you're on speaker, and the phone's not even near my face.
See how clear it is? There's clarity in everything.
But yeah,
especially
so I was laid out
graded
on
jerseys.
Christmas. I had the flu, right?
For Christmas?
Yeah, dude. I was KO'd. I was at the in-laws and they locked me into.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, they locked me into the spare bedroom, and that's where I stayed for pretty much the entire day, and then some of the next day, and we didn't even get to go home until the following day. So like 2 days after Christmas, I finally was able to go home. I think I picked up something from the Joe, because I was at the Joe like 3 times on Saturday and once on the Wednesday before picking up lockers, and Joe Louis closing shit, right? So I probably picked up something fucking nasty from the Joe, because let's face it, the Joe is kind of nasty in its own.
It's no different than any older stadium. You know that.
I don't know. Little Caesars is nice because it's new, but soon you'll be able to catch some nasty shit there, I'm sure.
Because it's Detroit, bro.
Nothing worse than the piss troughs at Wrigley Field.
Rick Scheffler is writing into the show. He says that Gretzky might have a little bit of wear on it from him spilling a Coke while wearing it at a game.
That's what made it a 9 out of 10. Wasn't
yeah,
perfect.
That's the 9 out of 10 right there.
If it was Diet Coke, for sure, it's gamer for sure.
But yeah, dude. Mustard. So we do a lot of photo matching on our jerseys and shit. So I got these lockers from Joe Louis Arena, right? And I got them in my basement. And so, year over year, you never know who is in what lockers, right? So what do? What do you think I do? I go and I get as many pictures of the locker room as I can and like videos of the locker room, right? And I'm matching.
Did you photo match it?
Yeah, dude. Of course I did.
No way.
No, yeah. So in the seats, they're constructed with boards together and then cut, so you can see where like one board starts and the next board ends, and the discoloration in it and shit like that. Some of them have cut marks on them from their skates or whatever. I photo matched both of my lockers, so I was able to figure out what position in the locker room they were installed. And really, I already had a good idea of where to start looking, because on the back of the lockers, one of them's labeled 9 and one of them's labeled 10. Well, I had to verify, do these numbers actually mean what I think they mean? Well, they do. So position 9 and position 10. And then I could start going through photos from all the years and figure out what players sat in them. So I've got like Glendening sat in one of them, Alfredson, Jordan Tutu.
That's fucking a lot of history in them.
Miller. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I'm missing a bunch of years still, because like in the late 90s, it's so hard to find any pictures. I can only find like 2007 and newer. I can't find anything older as far as like the locker room. So I'm hoping I can eventually track down some more shit.
You never know. You might have to go through microfiche and stuff like that through local newspapers.
Why don't you contact Gray Flannel and their photo matching service, and you can pay $5,000.
They'll photo match like Yammer Yager sitting in there, I'm sure.
You think it'll be like a solid 9 out of 10 locker room photo match?
Yeah, with Yager sitting in there for sure.
I think it'll be a 10 with the naked model that tried to blackmail him. That makes it 10.
Oh, that was awesome, wasn't it?
It was 11.
Yeah. I like his reaction. He just turned around and said, "Whatever."
He doesn't give a fuck.
He's the best.
You know what that guy said one time? You know why he doesn't have a family or a wife? Because he said, "My life is hockey." He goes, "Hockey is my wife." He goes, "When I'm done with hockey, then I'll have a family." That guy is fucking dedicated, man.
He's smart, dude.
Yeah.
All women bring is drama when you're a player, unless you like get married and you're all faithful and shit. But when you're like loaded like that and you're sweet and people love you, what's the point in all that anyway?
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. Come on, man. If you were like say you're Dylan Larkin, what's the point on having a girlfriend, dude? Really? You could have any girl you want. What's the point? There's a new flavor of the week every week.
Every
It's
day.
the allure of being an athlete, right?
That's the benefits of being a pro athlete. So probably is probably the first collector to pick up some shit for the new year. Anybody else get anything in 2018 yet?
In 2018, yeah.
Yeah, I got one delivered today, but nothing like yours.
I was 12 hours into the new year before I got new shit. I need help.
I got mine in New Year's. New Year's, I did. I got a 93-4 helmet with the Chicago Stadium sticker on it, and a Jocelyn Lemieux 89-90 preseason that was used in the 91-2 season.
Cool. Nice scores, buddy.
Yeah.
So let's recap what happened.
93, still working on more.
93-94 is the last season for the Chicago Arena, right?
Right, Chicago Stadium, and I got the white helmet that he wore.
So did you? Is that the last game? Can you
last game?
Oh, beauty.
Last game, both Leaf games. They'd lost to playoff and.
Hey, if you ever get video of that game, please send it over. By the way, if you ever get HD,
I think I have both.
Oh my God!
Both games, and I'm sitting behind the Hawks net.
We'll have to talk after the show.
In the video, so yeah.
Anyone else score anything?
No. Always. Everybody else is slow to the game, man. Everybody's slow. Y'all need to step your game up. Be like, it's the first of the year. Time to complete a deal.
I didn't get anything big like that, but
I got stuff working. I mean, I'm doing more player deals than anything right now.
You've always got stuff working though, don't you?
Yeah, I got pretty large deal that it's. I can't say who the guy is, but
that's bullshit.
Multi. Who said that? It better not be Derek.
You're fucking right,
Pete. I thought you were getting out of the game, Pete. You getting out of the game is more than I am in the game.
It's weird, I got some weird shit going on here at home, and and I need to clear house here. So before I had to move all my stuff out into storage, so just in case. So I've got some little issues going on there, but it doesn't. I mean, there is a James Patrick 91-2 turn back the clock hanging in my closet right now that I need to take to storage and stuff like that. So, and it's just weird. It's just weird that way. And there is a line on a old 30s Cup Finals, but the family doesn't need money, so it would be very difficult to pry loose. But the one player is a multi winner of the Stanley Cup with a couple teams. So we'll see what happens.
So what happened last year? Like, what are things that are notable? We had the Chicago Expo. That's one of the things that happened last year.
Yeah, that was good fun.
Oh yes, it was.
Yo, I still can't believe how well everybody kind of handled everything. Like, I knew there's stuff going on with the Chicago collectors and whatnot, and some people are just like, oh, I don't want to be in the room with that guy or whatever. And it's like it all came together just fine. Everybody handled themselves fine, and there's a bunch of shit there that was awesome.
Oh hell, just Pete's stuff was ridiculous.
Dude,
I'm just talking about lunch. I'm not even talking about the jersey showing off.
We went out to lunch, but hope you enjoyed that.
And then you got Mitra,
of course.
You got Brandon coming from the UK, and he gets to meet Richter. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
The Richter jerseys, man, they're super. You never see them, man.
They are anomalies. I mean, they're just not available. It's just like, I mean, I know there's a lot of Messiers and stuff like that, but I mean, there's a lot of Messiers that are questionable too. But I mean, I've never seen many that are just killer Messiers. You know, Rangers. Yeah. I'm talking. There are two as well. You know, Oiler Messiers, but you know that fan base, you know, just is revered to holding on to them. I certainly did. I did pick up Lundqvist's mask with the 90th graphics on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I actually saw, you know, it'll be the last time you see me in a Rangers jersey, by the way. So, you know, I just did that for the guys, and he was really cool after a loss and everything like that, and super nice guy.
How'd you get a hold of that mask, Pete?
It's through the foundation and through my son's godfather does work for our family and his family. I don't really mention too much about, you know, what type of work he does, but he has.
Let's just say he does wet work.
Well, no, it's not wet work per se, but it's this long-term longevity planning, so to speak, of money planning for a lot of NHL players, you know. So
yeah,
they generally set it up, and his staff is fantastic. They're super nice. I made a donation, you know, in that regard, and that got me the meet and greet here in Chicago after the game, and the mask, basically, which was cool because I think Stefan he's got the first part when he wore that mask, and I got the jersey, the last jersey, last regular season white jersey. So
Stefan Prill?
Yeah. So he started wearing that mask with his jersey, and it stopped at some point, and then I picked it up the balance of the regular season. So he wore about five masks, I believe, or four masks that season. He wears about 4 masks a season.
Fuck, that's more than jerseys.
And that's not counting the specialty mask, though, is it? Because Henrik will wear ones for special events, right?
No, those are his gamers that he does sell in the special events or foundation events. The only extras you'll get would be like Winter Classic would be an extra, so that would be like a fifth. But he wears about 4 on average.
Yeah.
I always find it interesting when getting into the hobby, you know, the jerseys, you look at the comparison price between the jerseys and the masks are just incredibly expensive. And you think, man, why are these things so expensive?
But they're expensive out of the box, man. I mean, just putting a mask together, it's like $3,500 to put it on your head.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand there is cost to it. You want a custom paint job by a known painter. I mean, you know, they're artists. You got to look at it that way.
The mask itself bears $2,500, and then you're looking at about $1,000 for a paint job.
Easy. I mean, my kid's got a Warwick mask, so you know his paint job this year was pretty plain. Actually, it was just black metal flake. So he went straight black metal flake, kind of like Blaine Locker type of look, and he likes it. And I touch it up with auto paint. I mean, you know, every time there's a chip or something in there, but his previous mask was like a wolf, and that cost me like about $2,000. You know,
Pete, you're breaking the GameWorn code. You're taking a gamer from your son, and you're touching it up with paint. What are you thinking, man? What do you think?
It's got to look good, babe. So I mean,
hey man, it's different when you're playing. When you're the one playing, it's all about style. That's why we go out there wearing white gloves.
And also,
can't fucking net a goal, but be wearing white gloves.
Yeah, hey, you guys want to talk about pucks, right?
No.
Yeah, you could.
Come on.
I mean, it's madness out there with pucks.
I can't wait
you know
for
what?
the bubble to burst, man. It's gonna be
It's
a
like the
fucking
Bitcoin.
floodgate.
I got a Sundin puck for
Sell it quick.
You know what? No. I don't want to. I don't think the bubble's going to burst, because for that few seasons that my grade did their puck program, I calculate. I think there's maybe because they only did it for when the guy scored. It was their goal puck program. So when the guy scored in his home arena, and when you look at the amount of seasons they did the program for, some guys' pucks are really rare, a lot more rare than their jerseys, right? Like if you want a Sundin jersey, you're going to find it way, way easier.
Casey says who's Sundin.
Sorry?
Casey says who's Sundin, and I have to say the same. Who is Sundin?
Who is Sundin? Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame, guys. So I mean, whatever.
What team did he play for?
Okay, all right. Well, if this is what's going to turn into like a degenerate conversation on Hall of Fame Maple Leafs, it's fine. But honestly, the gold pucks are so much more rare. So and they go for a fraction of the price of the jersey. So I do understand that they were completely undervalued back in the day. Completely undervalued.
And now they're depending on the team, they're nuts. And if it's like the away team that's there, usually the team selling those gold pucks are selling them next to nothing.
But is that the case though? Because because the My Grade program, I did some research on it. If you were an away team going into back then Maple Leaf Gardens or the Air Canada Centre, that the gold puck does not exist. They didn't keep those for the My Grade program. I mean, you might get one. You might find one with some masking tape along the sides of it, and it said whoever 30th goal or whatever. But I mean, that's a lot different than buying a My Grade puck.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to get one of his gold pucks, or do you want a jersey that he wore when he scored a handful of goals?
No, I get that, but the jerseys are for his jerseys. If we're talking about him specifically, you're going to start at around 2,000 American, right? Whereas the puck, if you get lucky enough to find one, you can find one for maybe a tenth of the price. So, and you're looking at a lot of people have his jerseys, but not a lot of people have his goal scored pucks. Like you'll see his jerseys come up, probably 3 or 4 times a year, but his pucks.
You want to?
I've never seen him come. Yeah, I've already have one, but sure, I'll take another one. Sure.
All right. Well, tell me which one you want, and I'll get one for you. I'll get you that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
which one?
Derek LOA.
Here's the goal puck that I would want. Any goalie that scored a goal.
Okay, I'll get you one.
No, of course.
Are you serious?
Course.
Yeah. I'll just go make one here.
Yeah. This is
you scored Derek
Hmm?
scored goal.
Yeah.
Well, if you're
I'll
talking
play
like
around with it here in this basement for a little bit, we'll get a couple of scuffies on there.
Okay,
make it
so
look real nice
Derek's
and tape it up.
obviously saying that you cannot trust any of these pucks that are out on the market, right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't trust the Fanatics ones.
No, here we got King Marco photo match man over here, right? He's always like, you got to photo match everything.
I didn't photo match the fucking puck. Are you kidding me? It's impossible. It's impossible.
I've seen a photo match puck before.
Wayne Gretzky's what?
I don't know. I don't remember what. I think it was from one of the
I've seen several
games.
people in the NHL groups that have actually photo matched them. We're able to zoom in on either pictures taken from Getty or other places, and zoom in, and you can find them. I mean, it's probably not 100%, but I've seen several that are pretty damn close.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that. It would be much more difficult, obviously.
I'm just saying the provenance on them is a difficult pill to swallow for me.
Well, and I'd be more that way with Fanatics, with them retaping them and rewriting them than if it's coming directly from the other teams.
Yeah. It'd be original.
Like, I'm looking at Dallas's list, and I'm not sure what game this was, but like their pricing is super cheap. Tyler Sagan's power play goal, and I'm not sure which game it was, $150.
Casey writes in that he has a photo match Crosby goal puck.
Yeah, well, Casey's got everything, so fuck him.
But it's photo matched is what we're saying here. It's photo match.
What's he got?
Ask Casey if he's photo matched Sidney Crosby's $10,000 jock strap yet.
We'll know that
Sweet.
answer in like 10 seconds because there's a delay. All right, so last year goal pucks kind of went crazy, yeah. They blew
Oh my
up.
god.
Yeah, and then it downplayed the other gear, the sticks and the...
Yeah, it kind of like
The
killed the
helmet
market
stuff.
for a lot of other gear. What else happened last year, man? Fanatics came into the business.
Fanatics pissed everybody off, that's for sure.
Do we consider that last year? When was the World Cup? Was that at the beginning of this year?
Previous 16, wasn't it? 15, 16.
Fuck. That wasn't it?
But they continued to operate a shitty business. We can all agree with that.
Okay.
Well,
I'll give you that.
they operated with a few teams, like Florida. They started out with, and then they ended
They
up
lost-
St. Louis.
Yeah, then
Well,
they lost
Wait,
Florida.
they started out with
Got it.
St. Louis, right? And then St. Louis dropped them, and now they're with Florida, right? That's right.
No, they
right?
were with Florida before.
No, they were with Florida before for a while,
Oh.
and then
Florida was,
Florida woke up after a while.
And then they went
They're
back to
back.
sleep.
Florida was
Yeah.
with Detroit Hockey Company, then they went with Fanatics, and they went on their own. Now they're back with Detroit Hockey, or not back with Fanatics.
Are they back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are they gonna do with all the Yagers from there?
They jacked them up. So I think the Panthers then was selling them for like something like 7,500 or something like that. And then when Fanatics got them, they went up to like 10 grand,
Nice. Why not?
right?
But I heard from an NHL official. I'm not going to name the team or anything like that. That all goal pucks in that particular arena all go to the NHL, even the home pucks. And I'm just like, I can't believe that. I'm still working on some validity to the truth, but you're talking about the head official of that particular arena. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me.
What's the reasoning for that, Pete?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. And
Well,
I'm
that doesn't
trying-
make any sense.
Every puck, I mean, is taped, marked, and thrown into a box. And whether it's the home team or the visiting team, every single one. Unless the player grabs it off the ice or the team, it's a significant something or other.
Or
Gets
the
it
ref.
prior.
Or the ref.
Or the ref, of course, because I still think I think a ref still has the Game 6 in Philadelphia Kane winning cup goal, and he's probably busted
that was
out in
big
20 years.
controversy.
Yeah, nobody knows where it's at. It's still a mystery.
I feel like there's a lot more that happened this year, and I just can't remember it. Was last year just not notable? Was it less notoriety and shit that went down last year? I mean, there
A lot
were
of people
little
going
drama snippets here and there.
Well, lots of e-gesture bullshit.
Oh yeah, it was the advent of the insecure mobile bid auction shit. See, here's the thing that I don't understand about that mobile bid shit too. Is it's like we all have phones that have internet on them, which means you can open up a web browser and go to any website and place your bids. So why does everybody got this big huge boner about things that are branded as mobile bid, right? Because you're still doing the same fucking thing. You're opening up a web browser, going to a web page. So how is it any different than just a fucking auction website? You know what I mean?
I don't know. What the fuck
I guess
you're
I don't
talking
get the
about.
hype.
So
I think it's you get notification by text, and if you're not savvy enough to link into every team, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get the notifications. So
can we provide some background on this? I don't know what we're talking about here.
We're talking about like e-commerce.
They got this auction website called Gesture, right? And a bunch of teams are using it to hawk off their warm-up jerseys and gear and shit, right? Well, one of the things that we made about it earlier is if you are looking at the shit and you link somebody to one, they're now logged in as you. They don't use session data or tokens. All the login is encrypted into the URL. So if you send somebody a URL, they're now in your account.
That's Wow, that's like 1999 internet technology. It's fantastic.
Right. So that's that was one of the things that we were talking about. And then we've got like Handbid, which is
Sounds
an
like
app on your
Russian
phone.
espionage.
Yeah, Russia's influencing the game-worn jersey hobby.
As well as presidential secrets, yes.
100%.
Yeah, why
Derek,
not?
Derek would disagree.
Huh? Oh, dude, I'm libertarian, man. I'm giving me ultimate freedom.
Yeah,
You're right.
Sure you are.
Are you righty or lefty?
I shoot left.
Okay.
Right.
But you didn't get it. Are you righty or lefty?
I don't, dude. I'm telling you, I don't fit into that shit. I'm all about ultimate freedom. I take a little bit from each side because each side has it fucking wrong.
Okay. Honestly, I won't collect a puck anymore. I'm completely through, and what I have, I'll probably sell out anyway. So I have a lot, but I've got 4 or 5 hoses because he was my favorite guy, but I've got a few others from through other teams until the teams decided you make a deal with the team on a Chicago game, let's say, I'll buy all the pucks. You just name the price and stuff like that, and then they go and they sell them to somebody else. So after that, I just said, you know what, no more, I'm done. And then after that, it was same crap with jerseys and things like that. They're promised to you, and they're switching there or switching there.
Oh yeah, I stopped collecting my local team because of shit like that. All this shit that I have of them, I sold off all of it.
Yeah, it gets very monotonous, especially like if you want to spend some money, that's fine. Everybody spends within their budget. And and it's not. We're not talking like, like some of the pucks that were scored, are not like big money. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But I had one Canadian team tell me, "Well, since $1's $1.34, we got to charge X." I go, "Why? Why do you got to charge like nearly double what it's worth?" I mean, like a Marcus Kruger puck. I mean, it's like, please, where's he now? So again, it's one of those things where, there are some of value that I do want. I'd like to have a star from every team or captain, something like that. But again, just starting another sub criteria. Modern day jerseys, I'm going to vintage, or I'm going player direct from the 80s and 90s guys. And I'm having slow but continual success with guys like that.
So jumping forward and looking to the future for a minute before we'll continue to look at the past, we got Francis ready. He's listening to us now. Hi, Francis.
Frank.
He's putting together his Nova Expo right now. I think I saw some stuff on dates that he has selected already. So be on the lookout for those. It's a good show to go to. So think about that for 2018. If you haven't been to Nova Expo, go.
Yeah, I feel like Capital's great stuff there. Vintage, a lot of vintage caps there. So I think cool stuff.
New Year's resolution for everybody should be try to fucking get out there and meet people. Like being a keyboard warrior is great and all. It's great to get a nice tap into the hobby, but go out of your way to meet someone, for fuck's sake.
I think it's important that that even the new collectors have a taste of what it is to network with all types of collectors. Like, if you meet like Larry Pelliccioni, even Barry Mizell, myself, a few other, like guys have been in the hobby that make themselves available. Because there's guys in the hobby that want anonymity, and they're big time collectors, but they will not go to a expo. They will not,
That's such a shame.
Because they have great stuff. and it just sits basically in either in their closet or in a box, or who knows how they display their stuff. Sean Chalk is an available type of guy. Sean Broderick, all our friend, I would say, he's always available, and definitely, flying from Germany to participate in the Chicago Expo.
Well, Sean even came to one of the Toledo ones too. Like, Sean gets around. He knows what it's about. Like, when he can go, he goes.
Oh yeah. And
I'm gonna go against exactly what Derek and everyone else said, and say your jersey is one click away. Just buy it off the internet. You don't have to talk to anyone. It's really nice. There's people in the game worn hobby are scumbags anyways. You don't want to deal with them. Just hang in your basement and don't bother with anyone in the hobby.
Yeah, I get it. They're out there, and of all sorts and
but
backgrounds.
Pete, it's not just the hobby, it's everything. Just go look at social media and stuff in general. There's really nice people that if somebody asks a question on anything, will answer it and be nice and help people out. And other times, people just going to be total dicks, regardless of if it's collecting, whatever. You follow the puck groups, you follow anything you do. You get the good guys and you get the guys that I don't give a shit if they have everything I want. I won't deal with them because they're just nasty.
I think it's just a rudeness. It's not rudeness. It's ignorance to the fact that they don't know how things were, let's say, on an 80s or a 90s jersey or even a 70s jersey. They have no idea. They don't care. Especially newer collectors, or again, we'll bring this up so many times, they only care about the flavor of the month and who's hot, who's not,
Well, here's the hard part with
Connor McDavid. He broke his collarbone in his rookie year, and his jerseys were pre-sold for tens of thousands of dollars. And he was not the Calder winner because he didn't make numbers, unfortunately, because of injury. So,
I think the real benefit, aside from the fact that you get a sense of community and you can talk to other people about your hobby, which when you think you're passionate about something, you would want to do that, but it seems like a lot of people are don't want to do that. You get to learn about the hobby. There's some things that are not going to be posted on the internet. You're not going to be able to research everything. You have to talk to people to understand more about your team and about the trainers that had the jerseys and about the players and how just about the entire process. So I think that is a real benefit. If people don't, if people take nothing else out of it, you can learn more from talking to the collectors.
Here's my question: is if you're not, holding on to the jerseys in an effort to share them and display them and so forth.
That's the Red Wings. They don't share jerseys.
You just keep them in your basement away from other people and not let anybody know you have them or share them. What the fuck is the point of having them? That I don't get.
But you're talking, What you're talking about, game worn jersey collecting is not a cheap hobby. It's not like we're collecting fucking pogs here. I understand people's need to be to have anonymity when they're collecting. They're building collections that are tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So in that sense, I really do get it.
No, all you need is a security system, a gun, and insurance, and you're fine.
It's funny how
I got
in the past week I've seen two different sides of this. One I got involved in yesterday. A guy posted an older Tampa practice jersey. Some people were questioning, I'm not sure if that's real or not. Well, I gave 5 examples of others of that style. I'm like, yep, it's legit. So I can't tell if it was officially worn by Tampa players or whatever, but I said, yeah, it's a legit practice jersey, the whole bit. Saw another one where a gentleman posted an older Blues jersey for sale, and 2 or 3 people, and I've never seen them like out in the hobby anywhere. Well, it's not legit because there's no set stamp in it. It's like, and then there's 3 or 4 of us jumping in going, hey, in this time period, they didn't use set stamps. It has to have, oh yeah, they all had to have it. These aren't legit. I've seen set stamps go back to like 1910. Like, who the hell are you? And we finally shot him down, and he just quit responding. But it's like, people act like they know what the fuck they're talking about, and we can see right through it. It's like, there's a lot of us. I'm not a complete expert, but I can answer questions. If I don't know, I can go to somebody that's been around longer or knows a particular team better. But then you get these jackasses. Oh yeah, I've read a few things, so I know. You don't know shit.
Well, here's
and they won't give that up.
Everybody thinks that just because some of them were like that, they were all like that, and they don't. Like, they probably haven't listened to like our podcast or talked to anybody that's in the know of, you know, how there can be anomalies within sets of jerseys. Some might have set stamps, some don't. They didn't all get set stamped in specific years. We've seen jerseys with conflicting fonts, even.
Anyone that doesn't have any common sense, don't get into fucking game-worn collecting at all. You'll get fucked. 100%. It's a common sense game, man. You really got to do your research, and you really got to make an accurate judgment based off of talking to other collectors, doing your research, trying to photo match things, having an extensive collection already, and being able to reference that. You know, I mean,
exactly. Set your criteria for collecting first.
Right.
Your budgeting, what you're willing to spend, what you're willing to spend to own. Because that's more money than actual value as well.
And don't track your purchases and how much you've spent on jerseys and shit. Just buy it and forget it. Don't track that.
That's horrible advice. Give me a break. Are you kidding me?
No, because if you track that shit, one day you're gonna look at it and then you're gonna fucking
kill yourself.
You're gonna do the sum line total, and then you're gonna be like, "Fuck my life." I did that a couple weeks ago, and I looked at my shit and I said, "Fuck my life," and then I went and bought more shit.
Yeah, you gotta have a house in the Hamptons by now, Derek.
Dude, if I didn't buy jerseys right now, I might have close to no debt.
Rule number 1: don't buy jerseys if you're in debt.
Yes, don't do that.
Definitely not.
But there's good debt and there's bad debt.
And don't expect to make money off the jerseys later.
Fuck no. If you buy it,
do not plan for that.
Assume you're renting it and it's like a rental thing.
I mean, you may do well with some, which is perfectly fine. You may end up making money on some, but don't just like a lot of people did in the 80s, 70s, and 80s with baseball cards. Don't count on that being your retirement, because it ain't gonna be.
I agree. Don't count on it being a retirement, but I'm going to do a 180 here and say, don't buy a jersey that, unless it's really, really special to you, that you're not going to be able to sell back for what you paid for it. Because, man, you're always going to see jerseys that are listed for, you're always going to buy a $16,000 Gretzky off of gray flannel. Those jerseys are always going to appear. It's one thing to say, don't count on making money off of it, but don't be a fucking idiot as well, right?
I agree with that too.
It's a hard thing to say. I mean, all these Glendennings that I have, I've shot myself in the foot with. I mean, I'm the only person who has really Glendennings, so if you want them, you have to go through me, right? But nobody wants them, so.
Well, I mean, you could say
you gotta pull the Maple Leafs cards, man.
Can key in with this Sweeney's.
Oh, Jesus, right? See, that's the hard thing about player collecting. Unless you're collecting a star player, you are so fucked.
Well, there are some rare years and rarities, in there, in between all that. Unfortunately, you don't want a player like Yager, where you got like a Yager rookie jersey and he's still playing today, because that means there's still boatloads of jerseys. I think everybody will have a Yager jersey in their collection at a reasonable price.
Well, I mean, what do you got on the flip side of that? You got Lindros, right? And he played, but then he got hurt for a long time, so he had a shortened career. But the value of all his stock when he got hurt dropped.
Oh, it dived, but now with the Hockey Hall of Fame nomination and acceptance,
well deserved.
he got a boost, and I'll give you another guy that should be in the Hall of Fame before him is Steve Larmer.
No.
Not before Lindros. Give me a break.
Oh, for sure.
Oh.
I knew he was going to say Blackhawk, and I was ready to put the quash on that
I have
shit.
to say that. I have to say that because he was an Ironman leader until the Hawks decided to screw him and not sign him, and then traded him.
Not to say Larmer's not a Hall of Fame, but before Lindros, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, again, Larmer's been in Cup. He's won the Cup. He's played in All-Star games. He's done a lot as well. Rookie of the Year, Calder. They're both Calder, winners. In that respect. But they equal in stats all the way. It's just a matter of popularity because Legion of Doom.
I don't think they equal in stats. If you look at points per game, I think there's a big disparity there. If you look at
I look at
adjusted
totals.
points per game, then you're talking about a huge disparity.
You know who really deserves to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame before Larmer? Kevin Hodgson.
What the fuck is that?
Exactly.
Goalie?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He was a goalie for like 2 years with the Wings.
Yeah, I was going to say he was a Wings goalie for sure. But you know what? There's a lot of goalies that deserve to be in there, too.
100%, man. Chris Osgood. Curtis Joseph. How do you nominate one without nominating the other? Impossible.
By nominating one and not the other. That's how they do
it. Yeah. You could say it like that, but I mean, give me a break. Van Beesbroek, right? Richter is not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What are we looking forward to for 2018 for this hobby?
Hopefully less auctions. Mobile auctions.
Seeing the wear on these Adidas jerseys.
Ah, that's right. People getting the Adidas jerseys in their hands and checking them out and looking them over and seeing how it's holding up.
They should be announcing the third for next year, right?
Thirds?
That'll be
third.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's 2 years before the third.
I thought they weren't going to do that until 19.
Oh, okay. I thought it was this year. I thought I saw an article so they were getting ready. They would do it this year. The next 18.
Announce it for next season. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought I'd seen that, but maybe it is for the.
It could be. I might be off a year. That'll be interesting.
Bobby Eagle post a picture of a Hurricanes jersey that had a nice big gash in the shoulder.
Yeah, I saw that today.
So it looks like jerseys are getting a lot of wear. Like, I don't know if it means the material's crappy.
I think it's the Adidas jerseys, man. They're awesome for wear. People were posting pictures on the forums and on Facebook of these jerseys like after like 10 games having like 20 repairs, and on modern jerseys,
like everything that their marketing said they were. They're like, oh, this special material, it's gonna hold up, and you can't tear it, and you can't cut it.
We're talking about a company that's done soccer jerseys. Soccer. Like, I mean, give me a break. They're like, you've never seen a jersey so durable. They're like, holy shit! In hockey, people actually take a stick and break it over the other guy's fucking back. That's incredible.
What else we got looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the first Austin Matthews jersey auction where I'll spend $40,000 on a one-game wonder. Super
so in US, that's $5.
Yeah. When is there any news of the Leafs? Any?
No.
The only thing I've heard is that they're having a hard time MLSE getting them from the team. The team doesn't want to let shit go, and they're letting stuff go like very small quantities.
They're going to the players' families. The Centennials all went to the players' families. The Winter Classic went to the players' families. They're playing it classy, I get that, but man, it really does suck for collectors.
Yeah, because there was a set out there. I think the 15-16, and they pulled those back too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, but I really hope that more teams don't start going this way. I don't understand. Can anyone tell me the reason behind this?
So it's the reason the Hawks, they have never put out a Stanley Cup gamer.
Right.
They
Yeah.
put out
What's
five
why-
backups in 3
I
Stanley
think
Cup
they want to do
finals.
it for history. My guess is like, oh look, we're going to keep this for history stuff. We don't want this going around to other random people. We want to keep this in house. We want to keep
How
it.
many jerseys can you display? You've got 32 players playing in that series.
But they're like, this is the year that we might actually be
40
above
guys.
50% in our winning percentage.
But I don't understand it though. It really doesn't make any sense.
This
The
is our
teams.
year.
It's probably just we don't want people that aren't in the organization to have something that we have. They see it as very sacred, and they probably don't want other like Joe Schmo like us collecting it, even though a lot of us would just hold on to it and display it and not like try to make money off of it.
Maybe they're like, this is more effort than it's worth, so let's box it up and not give a fuck about it until somebody else wants to give a fuck about it.
Right. But the point is that all of us care about, our one or two particular teams, and are the curators of a lot of history that they didn't give a shit about in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And now they want to build these displays on historical displays and things like that, and they don't have anything.
That and they're just archiving
because
random
they were
shit.
They were sellouts, and yeah, exactly. No archives at all. If they have anything, they like Mitch in San Jose, he's got a lot of his stuff on display because San Jose obviously came from nothing, but he had a lot of stuff from the Bay Area, from secondary leagues and things like that where hockey was being played, and which is a good thing. And he lends some of his stuff out, and it's showcased in a glass case. But at least there's something there for people to say, oh, that's cool. I didn't know about, let's say, the California Seals before the NHL Seals, things like that.
I don't know. I just think it's very interesting how much shit just gets archived, and when they archive it, it doesn't mean it's going on display. It just means it's getting fucking packed up and put somewhere. Like, they took all the Red Wing jerseys from last year, all the Reds from set 2, and they boxed them up and put them somewhere. They handpicked, like, 5 to 10 jerseys every year that they don't make available. They just box them up and put them somewhere. You don't see them again. They're taking the boards from the Joe Louis Arena, and they're going to archive them.
But they did that with the 75th patch wings, 2-gamer, right? They did that for 2 games, right?
Oh,
they were the 75th patch of the team.
So, I think eventually there will be some kind of a revolt amongst collectors where they say, you know what? At a certain point, the value of having a minor team that, gives you 2 sets a year, and these jerseys really, because we're talking about character here. We're talking about wear, and we're talking about when you buy a game-worn jersey, you're buying it because you want to feel like a part of the game. You want to feel like you own a part of the game. And it's really going away. And eventually people are going to say, you know what, I'm not paying, $20,000 for a superstar. I'm going to pay, $300 or $400 for a guy that, died on the ice in that jersey, and it wasn't a superstar, but really, we're not talking about superstar collecting. We're talking about game-worn jersey collecting. And eventually it's going to turn around to that.
Well, I think, on an investment scenario, I would say stay pre-90, early 90s and earlier for those type teams. Newer teams, I don't know. It's a crapshoot because of the amount of jerseys that are being put out there. And not to say that they were never put out by teams previous to that. In the era that I mentioned, there were plenty. Their star players were trading other star players their jerseys, and there would be a new jersey, introduced into a set. I've bought both ends of a trade between 2 Hall of Famers who traded jerseys to each other, and it's kind of cool. But to get the hawk, I had to go to the other guy, and to get more hawks, I had to go to a hawk guy. So, it's different, and I think a lot of us, I wouldn't tell anyone what to collect. You can collect whatever you like or whatever you feel that you're, again, please be budget conscious and always remember the golden rule. Be ready to own it no matter what price you buy, whether it's $200 or more than $200. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a hobby, not a money-making scenario. There are marketing companies to make money. They are out there, and that's their business.
Well, boys, what do we think of 2017? 9 out of 10?
I'd say that's a good number.
I would say because Jersey,
but it's photo match too.
Well, I would say it's becoming more innovative, and I think that's positive. And I think it's reaching the mainstream more, and I think that's positive.
Well, it's reaching the mainstream, but it needs to be captured into the hobby because right now what's in the mainstream isn't what we need.
Right. Well, for us, it's not. Right.
All right, boys, that's all the time that we have. Stick around. We'll BS a little bit. I'm going to play the outro, so silence.
Later.
Wing it.